We started in 1994 with surgery for war wounded. You can see here some of these wounded, injured by shrapnel from bombs, rockets, injured by high-velocity bullets, injured by anti-personnel mines. I'm going to show you a few slides about anti-personnel mines. They are a bit rough. I apologize for that, but these are different types of landmines that do not look like that in reality. Normally, landmines are not so visible. This is a dry river that I photographed in Iraq back in '95. One of these stones is in fact a landmine. You can see it there. And if you step on one of these mines, you will end up like this. Other mines are even more powerful and will just turn the victim to pieces, as it happens to these children admitted to our hospitals in Kabul. And this again is another type of landmine, also called toy mine. This is what the Afghans call green parrots. The size is about the pack of a cigarette, and the mine goes off only if you pick it up from the ground and manipulate it for a while. Next slide. This is what happens to your hand. Or even more tragic, many children will have one or both hands amputated and will remain blind because of the explosion that affects the chest and the face. We started to look after the wounded in our surgical centers. Here you see some examples. This is the surgical center in Kabul, intensive care unit, and the CT scan we have there. This is one of the hospitals in Iraq, established back in 1998. This is a hospital in Cambodia. This is one of the surgical wards, and this is another emergency hospital in Sierra Leone. And around the hospitals, we established first aid posts and clinics. And of course, being involved with war-injured people means also being involved with rehabilitation, because you must think about the future of these victims. Next. So we try to organize rehabilitation centers where patients can have physiotherapy, can have a prosthetic fitting, and at the end can start the phase of what we call social reintegration, which means teaching the patients a job, trying to have the patients supporting their own families, and organizing vocational training workshops so that the patient can again go back to life with dignity and being useful for the society. At the moment, we have 162 cooperatives in Iraq made by former patients, fully rehabilitated. Next. From treating the war wounded, we moved to treat the victims of war, which is a different concept. You know, children who die from preventable diseases, or women who cannot have a safe pregnancy anymore because war has destroyed all the medical infrastructure. Although they were not hit by bullets or landmines, they are victims of war. And that's why we organize pediatric departments like that one in Afghanistan or this one in Sierra Leone, and maternity hospitals like this in northern Afghanistan. From 1994 to 2005, we have been treating more than 1.8 million victims of war worldwide. As you can see from the graph, the peak happened in the last 3-4 years, and this is due to the fact that besides surgical cases, we started to treat medical cases, and also due to the fact that our largest operations are in Afghanistan and in Iraq and in Sudan at the moment. And finally, we tried to move from war-related urgent needs to what we have called sharing human rights, because we are convinced that the right to be cured if you are sick or wounded is a basic human right. And that's how we designed recent projects, particularly the Sudan project. A project that started in Darfur. Darfur is today on the media attention more for political reasons than for humanitarian reasons. Everybody is talking about genocide in Darfur, which is not true. There is a big tragedy, a big humanitarian tragedy, and a civil war that is ongoing since 20 years and has been left for 20 years without any kind of interest or intervention by the international community, and only recently, I suspect more for political reasons than for humanitarian reasons, Darfur has come to the world attention. In Darfur, we have completely refurbished the surgical department in the capital city of northern Darfur, Al-Fashir. And also we started in Sudan another project, which is a pediatric program. This is the clinic we have opened in the internally displaced people camp of Mayo, and the clinic is presently looking after the children that are living in slums around Khartoum. More than 2 million refugees live around Khartoum in terrible conditions, without water, without electricity, without medical care. But we wanted to do something more. And that's why we have added to the Sudan project this third component, which is cardiac surgery. Why cardiac surgery in Sudan? Why this kind of highly specialized medicine in a country where people are still dying because of diarrhea or preventable diseases? Well, the answer is quite simple. If we look at the problem in terms of human rights, we must admit that human rights belong to each and every human being, not only to the rich people. So if we think that we have the right to be cured when we have a cardiac problem, the same right applies to the people living in Sudan or in neighboring countries. That's how we decided to go ahead with this program. The regional center for cardiac surgery that we call Salam, meaning peace in Arabic, is presently under construction in Khartoum, and it will be finished by the end of this year. So within this year, we will start surgical activities. The center will serve not only Sudan, but also the neighboring countries. Here you see some phases of the construction of the center. Yeah. Next. And we hope that this center will help to pass a different message into that area. And the message is that we consider those people equal to us in rights and dignity as stated in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights.